All right, let's do this thing. Wait, the sign's not on. The coin's spinning, but the sign's not on. There it is. What's up, everyone? My name's AJ Writes Crypto. Thanks for joining me on this Monday morning. Well, it's 11 a.m., almost Monday afternoon. Good to see everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Juan Hernandez, Grogger Gang, GMGM. What's up, fam? We got Ricky Burris, Brian, Frosty, Mr. Mojo, the Glitter Queen, Kimi. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody is having a great day. Man, sorry, I was going to do the live stream at 10:30. I had a phone call go a little long. All good. All is good. But, I did have a chance to pull a bunch of stories. Didn't get a chance to read them all, but I'm going to go off the headline. So I feel like there is, pretty some significant stuff here. And of course, I got a bunch of charts that I want to show you a little bit later in the show. I mean, I do want to start off by saying, I didn't get my screen shared. 1 second. I do want to start off by, briefly talking about Bitcoin because, the flash crash kind of came out of left field. I mean, no one can call those types of things. It just sort of happens. It's an unfortunate part of crypto. I mean, we were kind of cruising where, we have this range here between, 68.5 and 71.6 and change. Okay. So, Bitcoin has, done a good job staying in this range, holding a lot of the value here. When you zoom out to say the 2 hour, you realize that since we came up in March, we did put in a slightly higher high, which is good to see, not even a couple days ago. And structurally speaking, it's not that bad. You can kind of see this little, sort of uptrend we have going here, still like respecting the bounds of that uptrend. If you want to draw it, you could draw it like that. You could draw it like this. Handful of way you could make some multiple touches there. So there is that idea that you want to keep in the back of your head. I'm going to delete it, but you want to just kind of remember that there is a bullish structure going on here. Secondly, this 66,443 level, this level right here, was the, we came up local high, well, actually all-time high for Bitcoin in March. That was as far as we came down. And since then, even though we've come close, we haven't touched this level since that point. All right. And then when you kind of zoom in, I'll even go into let's say the 30-minute chart. All right. You can see all of these circles here, how all the times we've touched this level at 68,525. All right. Well, this is obviously a significant support resistance level, not to mention this touch there. Okay. And so here we are. And then we flash crashed. All right. And how far was that? Just for the sake of argument, let's see how much of a drop that was. Okay. About 4% in 8 hours. Pretty big move for Bitcoin. All right. But as you see from these circles, oops, let me do that. I want my brush, not the arrow. I want the brush. Okay. We have all these touches and this touch here. When we flash crashed, that is the exact level we stopped at. And I mean the exact level. I got to love how support resistance works. It can completely save you a lot of times. You just got to look and say, okay, I see what's going on here. And support resistance saved us. All right. And now we have, like double bottom, but anchor wave, trigger wave on market cipher, kind of showing a little bit of sort of bullish divergence. But the weird part is that if you kind of eliminate the outlier of that, that drop here, you can really deduct that Bitcoin has spent the last 2 days and 20 hours inside of about a little bit less than a 1% range. So Bitcoin is 4 hours away from spending 3 days inside of a 1% range. Kind of strange. And it's interesting because, a lot of the altcoins, the H bars, the V chains, the Algorands took a pretty significant dent and are still down there a little bit. Some altcoins recovered pretty quick. Some of them didn't lose that much value at all, like the Jasmys, the Phemex tokens. They are basically right where they were, give or take 10%. But, Bitcoin, really, it had the big move down, and then it has been sideways for just about 3 days. So it is interesting to see how Bitcoin is really holding a lot of its value. It's currently valued at 69,744, where, altcoins lost value and continue to lose value. So we are going to get, excuse me, we are going to get into some of that and kind of figure out, okay, well, what did the alt have to do to recover? And that's, kind of like the general thesis of what we're going to talk about today. I have a lot of stories pulled up for everybody as well. I also must say that, a coin that has done a damn good job putting up numbers despite the flash crash would be Brett. Still here, 64th by market cap, 17.5 cents, just under $2 billion. Amazing tokenomic situation. I think this coin is going to be a problem moving forward, in a good way, a good problem. I started tweeting about this coin at 5 or 6 cents not that long ago at all. This one certainly made me look pretty good when you consider the monthly chart here. I mean, this thing was 3 cents on May 18th, guys. It's June 10th. That's pretty significant move. I love to see it, and I think this thing is going to continue to be a really good project moving forward. Looking at all the projects here, just a little quick overview of the numbers. Like I said, Bitcoin just under 70,000. Would really like to see Bitcoin get above and stay above 70,000. As we've talked about many times on the show, Bitcoin has never, ever spent more than 5 days above 70,000. The first time it went above 70,000 was the longest it ever got above and stayed above it. Even if here, I could just show you really quick on, say, the 4-hour chart. I know you can't see it yet. All right. So, here is, sorry, my computer's being a little at the moment. Oh, and I lost my shared screen. 1 second. I don't know why it did that. That's never happened once. Bitcoin, and 70,000 is right here. All right. And as you can see, it doesn't really like spending a lot of time above 70,000. All right. It doesn't last long. Okay. And it would be great to see that become, the new normal, so to speak, so we definitely need to sustain that level. But my point here is that every time Bitcoin's going above 70,000, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, when's it going to come back down? Because it hasn't been good at staying above that level. Like, when is that norm? When's that going to become the norm? That's what I'm trying to get at here. Regardless, Ethereum, just under 3,700. Solana still at 160, kind of lagging behind. XRP, 50 cents. Dogecoin, 14. Toncoin, holding a little bit of that value, still at 7. Cardano in 11th, counting stable coins at 44 cents. I think Cardano and SHIB, I think these are two good coins to target if you are looking to target top 20 crypto. I like both of those picks for some safer type exposure. I think Shiba is going to be a big winner, and I do have some stories pulled on that one as well. I will just go straight to gainers and losers to try to isolate that volatility, figure out, what is worth it right now, what is still, despite Bitcoin having, 1% worth of range in basically 3 days, things are still moving. Things are still pumping. I have a bunch of tabs pulled, and I think that's why my computer is moving a little bit slow. So sorry for my computer right now. I need to go to Apple and get like a better, because I do the stream from my laptop and it works, but sometimes it kind of gets slow on me, and it drives me a little bit crazy. Taking a quick look at the top 300, we do have a bunch of smaller market cap coins moving around a little bit. Turbo down inside the top 200, down 9%. Certainly worth taking a look at that one. I know the chat really likes Turbo. In the top 100, we have Flare, Monero, Chili's, Injective, Quant, all up between 7 and 4%. Nothing crazy. Nothing really, popping off, so to speak. Wormhole down, Floki, Bonk, BNB, Filecoin, Ondo, Pyth, all down around 4 to 6%. So nothing too crazy in terms of volatility. Jasmy still at 3.8, not bad. Let's just take a quick look at the 1 hour in the top 100. See if there's anything moving. Brett up 8% in 1 hour. Wait, wasn't Brett just in the 17s when we looked at it? It's already at 18. What the hell? Yeah, Brett up 8% in 1 hour. Hell yeah. Jasmy up 3% near Ondo. So things are moving pretty strong right now in the past hour, which is really good to see. Maybe there's some trades we can lock down here at some point. I wish I had another monitor to watch Netflix on right now, fam. Drift bike, it'd be like that sometime. I'm still holding my graph, and I'm still buying more graph. That's for sure. That's for sure. Sick of meme talk. Okay. Some people just don't like making money. You know, what can I say? Take a lap. That's what I would say. Got a handful of stories. Nvidia, man, it is hard to not look at Nvidia. It is damn impressive. It is damn impressive. This thing has been putting up some serious numbers. Outperforms Apple by 25%. Dude, it's 25x, excuse me. And they are doing like a stock split today. I think it's probably a good move. Trying to increase that liquidity, increase that accessibility. I understand the mindset behind it, but it's worth keeping a look at. It really is. I'm really not a stock person, but a lot of more traditional type investors are really looking at like a crypto comparison to Nvidia. I did send my interview with Grant Cardone to my editor. It should be here. I should have it in the next day or two. It will be split into 2 interviews. So definitely keep an eye out for that and pay attention to the conversation we have about Nvidia in that interview there. I mean, it's probably one of the best interviews I've ever done on this channel. Roaring Kitty, shout out to Roaring Kitty. Kind of hard to ignore this whole narrative, man. This guy really has the attention of the world. I really love to see it. Even dude, I don't know if you guys listened to the Joe Rogan episode recently with Tony Hinchcliffe. Big shout out to Tony. Got a selfie with him at Karate Combat in Austin, and Shane Gillis photobombed us. Tony's really cool dude. He took a second to chat with me. Cool as they come. And even they're talking about Roaring Kitty on the Joe Rogan Experience. And Roaring Kitty posted on Twitter, kind of about like a movie, I think with The Dark Knight or something like that. But I think people are kind of, looking at, does that mean he's buying into AMC? Because, GameStop had, sort of revival. So does that mean that AMC is going to come next? I'm trying to scroll down, but I have too many tabs pulled up and my computer's moving a little bit slow. Let me get rid of that video playing. That's probably eating up some of the CPU. But right, he posted the Joker with his back turned from Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight in that amazing opening sequence there. I think he's telling you guys, hey, buy AMC. I think that could be a little bit of what he's saying. Hey, time will tell. I will certainly keep an eye, look at that chart. I generally, guys, I've never traded a single stock in my life. But it is cool to see, what they're doing. It's pretty impressive. You basically can't ignore it. Yeah. Oh, it's Gary Cardone, not Grant Cardone. Yeah, I'm trying to kill some of these tabs going through the stories here. I think Roaring Kitty. I think I get how some people how it could be a controversial topic. I like the attention he brings. I don't look at things. I mean, I actually appreciate him being transparent about his positions and stuff like that. At least he is honest about it. Like what's a trader makes a bunch of money, like that shouldn't piss traders off. That should he's kind of like in uncharted territory, kind of like Joe Rogan was talking about, like the whole deal with people who talk finance. If you talk about a project and it pumps, like, are you at fault? Like kind of that overall ethical question. And that is Roaring Kitty is the pinnacle of that example. And I think we're in like a completely new world with it's hard for the securities laws that were made for oranges in the 30s to really keep up with today's world. And I think it's certainly worth a conversation. Crypto inflows hit 2 billion last week, pushing the 5-week total to 4.3 billion. Bitcoin certainly stealing the show. Crypto investments products saw a 2 billion inflow. Like I said, 5-week total, 4.3 billion. Bitcoin dominated with 1.97 in inflows, while Ethereum had its best week since March with 69 million. Market sentiment is positive with expectations of interest cuts as Bitcoin shows resilience and potential for new all-time highs, which is totally true. Like kind of, the carrot dangling in front of us, guys, is that we still have not had the interest slashes that were supposed to come earlier in the year. And that is kind of attached to my thesis with the perfect storm that, we're going to hopefully have an administration change. Both parties right now are currently both fighting for the crypto vote, although one party's doing a much better job than the other. And they're going to bolster the numbers leading to the election so they can look back and say, oh, look how good we did. Look at our great numbers. And it's interesting. And then when you pair that with hopefully some favorable crypto regulation, imagine crypto without the worry of regulation, right? That seems like taking the fear out of the equation would equal a lot more money. And with interest slashes, that would just be ridiculous. I think, even on Altcoin Daily saying, I think 150 Bitcoin for personal target, I think, I think I might have undercut myself there. I should have said a bigger number. Frosty says, if I read the tea leaves correctly, the crypto side will prevail. I mean, it's not even tea leaves, man. It's not like it's not like a tarot card. It's this is actually happening. It's like it's a very politicized issue, and the fact that there's so many politics involved will only bring more attention to the situation, and attention equals money. And I think it has nothing to do with tea leaves and more to do with just the empirical data of the billions of dollars flowing into the space. 4.8 billion in 5 weeks, guys. That's not tea leaves. That's real numbers. And I think that's going to continue to be a narrative. And I don't think Grayscale, iShares, Fidelity, CoinShares, ARC21, none of these people here are playing the short game. They're playing the long game here. And certainly going to be interested to see it play out. And the interesting part is that this is not the only inflow conversation. This is not the only in terms of inflows coming in. This is kind of the stuff that I like to see here. Let me get rid of that last tab before maybe my computer run a little bit faster as I kill the tabs, as I rip through the stories here. Okay. Just maybe it'll work. The went to the wrong tab. Financial sector dominates Q1 funding with 323 million in inflows. Notable deals include Farcaster, Polymarket, Babylon, Securitized Humanity Protocol. The financial sector is accounted for 25.25% of total fundraising volume, highlighting its dominant role in crypto investments. So, guys, the fundraisers coming down the pipe here to fund the new projects coming, that is pretty massive. We got this tweet here from Tom Dunleavy, Q1 crypto VC funding update. Deal volume increased 8.8% month to month, 1.28 billion. However, the number of deals increased, a little bit less than 1%, sustaining nearly yearly high levels with 303 deals, the most notably, like I said, Farcaster, Polymarket, Babylon. And this isn't the only factor to take into account here. So the ETFs, over the past 5 weeks, 4.3 billion in inflows. All right. And now we have, funding in Q1, massive numbers, over 8% quarter on quarter. And this is just outside of that. Think about the money spent on marketing. All right. And I've touched on this before, but as where I stand in the space, someone who lands deals with crypto projects, who connects crypto projects to other influencers to land deals, kind of the whole deal flow world in crypto. It's a very interesting space to pay attention to. And from when this channel started probably 7 months ago to now, night and day difference in terms of who wants to do Twitter spaces, who wants to spend money on videos, who wants to spend money on this, who needs tweets, it's this whole world of all of these projects trying to, activate their marketing strategy. All right. And then, so say you take a marketing strategy where, Hedera, for instance, spends $1 million for 6 months to have the Hedera H in the middle of the Karate Combat pit. That's not the actual deal. I'm just throwing numbers. I'm saying $1 million. Okay. And so with the Hedera H in the middle of the Karate Combat pit, that was a $1 million label deal. Okay. But for each dollar they spend on the deal, they also need to spend a 1-to-1 ratio for activation. All right. So it's not just the marketing strategy of getting the deal, getting your name on the sign, getting your name on a logo, wherever. You spend an equal amount of money activating that deal. All right. So what does that mean? That means, Hedera bringing KOLs, a knowledge opinion leader, someone like myself or Wendy or Loudmouth or BitBoy, whoever, come bringing them to the event. So the content creators make content about the event saying, hey, look, Hedera is, sponsoring Karate Combat. And this kind of goes in line with everything, blah, 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 blah. And we talk about what they're doing. All right. And deal activation is just as important as the deal itself. It's just as important as getting your name in the pit, on the sign, whatever. And what I'm saying here, guys, is that crypto, Bitcoin, billions of dollars inflowing from the ETFs. There's millions and millions and millions of dollars coming in from fundraisers, venture capitalists, trying to invest in new projects coming. Not to mention like ICO season, still alive and well, all the investment rounds from there. And the deal flow on the content side of crypto of all the projects that are paying content creators to make videos about their projects. And in the past 3 months have been insane in terms of what these companies are paying whoever to do whatever content they want. And when you see that, that is kind of like from the inside, me telling you that all these projects are spending so much money on marketing. Why is that? Why is that? Because they know the bull run is coming. They know there's going to be an ROI. They know there's going to be a return on what they're putting in. Like, think like, do you think Hedera spends what they spend on Karate Combat without getting a return on that investment? Do you think VeChain spends what they spend on the UFC to not get a return on that investment? I could only imagine how much that deal costs. It's the UFC. Like think about, crypto.com, like what they're doing. When you see these heavy marketing campaigns, realize that they're not just doing that to flex. They're doing that with an expectation to have a return on investment. And they're spending the money on getting their name on the sign, and they're spending an equal amount of money activating the partnership. So kind of like my bit here is from the inside of the crypto industry. I am telling you that the marketing dollars right now compared to 7 months ago, completely different game. Completely different game. The market is flooding with marketing dollars right now. And this is what happened last time. This is what happened in 2020 last time. It's happening again right now. And that is how I know, okay, this thing's definitely happening, because, there's no way these companies are spending billions and billions and billions of dollars for no reason. That's not how it works. So, yeah, there's that. I did want to bring this article here to your attention. It's pretty simple. The Ripple CTO issues a critical scam warning to the XRP army. Wanted you to be aware of this here. On Twitter, there are these posts going around that are pretending to be loop ring, that it's obviously spelled wrong, and there has been money lost from people thinking that that's the real company. I just wanted you guys to be aware. If you see that post on Twitter, watch out. Just keep an eye out for it. I don't know much about it, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention, just to make sure that you guys aren't falling for anything silly like that. All right. Shout out to Bitcoin Magazine. Over half of the top US hedge funds own Bitcoin ETFs. Imagine that. Imagine that. Like that's, it kind of speaks for itself. That kind of speaks for itself. You know, and that number is just going to grow. That number is just going to grow because what's going to happen is people are going to open up their investment portfolios and realize Bitcoin's in it and be like, oh, we need more of that. We need more of that. We need more of that. And it kind of goes into when I see articles like this, over half of the top US hedge funds own Bitcoin ETFs. That's when I'm saying Wall Street got a taste of the crypto returns. That's why the Ethereum ETF got approved. That's why Solana's coming down the street. That's why XRP is probably going to come in after that. It's only going to keep growing. They finally got a legitimate taste of that crypto money. And that is exactly what this industry needed to get like a legitimate kickstart. And, shout out to them, man. Power to them. Let's go. Very interesting, this whole thing, Iggy Azalea. The celebrity tokens are coming back. Mother has been a pretty sick come up from when I was first told about Mother. I don't know. It was probably when I can actually tell you exactly when I have the chart on my other screen here. I can actually tell you exactly when I was told about Mother. Yeah, when I was first told about Mother, it was 2.5 cents. It's 18.7 right now. It's 18.7. I also have a little bit of TA from a follow-up TA from what we've done here on the channel before, kind of explaining what has continued since. I will talk about that in a second. But first of all, just the visibility of someone like Iggy Azalea, coming out with her own coin, basically saying, I'm not going to rug it. We're going to make this thing utility. I'm going to stick with this thing. I think that's pretty cool. So basically they're saying that Iggy Azalea's meme Mother coin token to be usable for phone purchases. It surged after the announcement, fueled by potential real world utility. Guys, I'm not saying that like Mother is going to be the next whatever coin or whatever, but I am saying that it's good for the industry to see Iggy Azalea type people making their mark in it, because it's only going to open the door. Someone's going to say, oh, I wonder what I wonder what this person's going to do, or is this person going to get involved, blah, 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 blah. And it's great to see. Here's a quote from her right here. Tomorrow, I'm finally relaunching telecommunication company I co-founded, and you can purchase phones month to month, sell plans on Mother or Soul. Ad campaign to roll out late in the following week. And I mean, for anybody who got in early on this project, wow, absolutely murdered it. And it looks like she's actually trying to stick around, trying to make a difference. That's cool. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I know some people have some pretty volatile opinions about what's going on. I mean, there are people that have volatile opinions about projects that are good, but hey, you can't expect everyone to be properly educated on projects that are awesome. And when you look at the chart, Mother is, we talked about it at the time when we drew this kind of, sort of some symmetrical triangle. We have, these overflowing uptrends here. We have, the downtrend here. Since we drew this on the show before this broke out, I forget what day it was, maybe Thursday or Friday last week. Yeah, because it broke above on Sunday. We are looking at the 1 hour chart. And I said that, just breaking the triangle is one thing, but breaking this support resistance level, that's another. And if you can break triangle and break support resistance, that's what you're looking for. And that was a proper call. Top to bottom from the wick, 38%. From the break of that support resistance to current price, we're talking 13% in 13 hours. So anyone who, followed along the technical analysis on this show, went long off that alarm, you're up, 12, 13%. Congratulations. You do got to consider this support resistance level stays in play. All right, we can kind of delete this now. We can delete this up. We do want to see it continue on. Obviously, there is these wicks from here. We want to see that level broken at 19.6. It's at 18.5 now. And then, the high wicks here where the body and the wick line up there. So big support resistance at 23 as well. I find it likely that since this thing seems that it's going to have a roadmap and utility, I would imagine to see it continue. But the support resistance level you don't want to lose is right here. This level is at 16.8. It's at 18.5 now. So let's not lose 16.8. And then certainly the parachute level would be the support resistance here from where it was let me draw this really fast. It was the ceiling here, the floor here, the floor here. That's the level you really don't want to lose, is at 11.8. That would probably be the parachute pool for Mothercoin for me. So definitely shout out to anybody who nailed that trade. Congratulations. Hey, and shout out to Iggy, man. Best of luck. Best of luck. Why not? I hope more celebrities get involved. I hope more celebrities bring more attention to the space, because that's what we need. That's what we need. Remember last bull run when Gene Simmons from Kiss tweeted about Cardano and everyone lost their minds? Like that's what happens sometimes, and when celebrities get on board, I mean, it's going to continue to be a thing, because they like making money too, guys. I don't know if you know that or not. Celebrities like making money. And do you blame them? Do you blame them? And celebrities talk to other celebrities. And then and the thing is that people look at celebrities like, oh my God, like this person, and they scream their names and blah, 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 blah. It kind of has this primal type instinct, follow the leader type thing. And when you see that, I mean, you can look at it from like the aspect I do, like that's good for attention. And for me, guys, like, I'm an influencer. I know the game, and this entire game is more about attention than it is crypto. So when it comes to the business of attention, that's what you have to deduct that. Like, you have to kind of look past the short-sightedness. You can send me a $2 super chat, and with that's fine. You could be short-sighted, or you can look past that and say, this is good for the attention aspect. All right. And hopefully, I want to see Mothercoin succeed. I don't want to see Mothercoin fail. All right. There are people that might want it to fail, but I want to see it succeed, because I want other celebrities to say, damn, Iggy killed it. We should do that. And it's only going to bring more attention to the rest of the space. All right. It's kind of about looking through and realizing this is the business of attention, and this space and your bags need as the most attention that they can get. All right. All right. Boom. You get the boot. I don't like when people are toxic in my chat. Not in here. Not in here, bro. You're done. Come back with your next troll account. It's probably the same person that has been doing it forever. I just can't. The people, my audience is here to learn. My audience is here to live in the positivity. And I am a person that lives in the positivity and focuses on the constructive things that I can do and the constructive ways that I can help other people. And if you're at a point in your life where you feel better for, if you're at a point in your life where you feel good about being toxic towards other people in a YouTube channel with 200 people watching it, you're not, I'm going to pray for you, bro. I'm going to pray for you, because like it's people are here to learn. I'm not here to feed in, to argue back, I don't really have a toxic side. I'm too busy like working on what I'm working on. I'm too busy to be toxic. And if you're going to be just straight up rude to my community and to what I'm building here, I'm just going to kick you out. I don't want you here. I don't care. And the people that are here to learn and that want to make the most out of this opportunity that we have, because that's what this is, guys, an opportunity. This next bull run might be one of the last opportunities that we get. And I want to do everything I can to help you guys make the most of it. I've made my money. I'm straight. I'm going to do great this bull run, but I don't need this to happen. I know some of you do. And I want everybody who's on the fence to make the most out of this situation. And with that said, I am not letting people come into the chat and just being straight up rude to the audience, rude to me, rude to just being a toxic person. I'm going to pray for you, bro. I am going to pray for you, but you must be really, really doing great if you're going to spend your Monday morning being toxic in a chat with 200 people listening to a show. I mean, congratulations. Congratulations. Where were we? And shout out, and guys, and really shout out to Des Brooks, JC, Steve, Carter. I mean, shout out to you guys. You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys, because you guys are actually here. You want to learn. I don't want to go on these philosophical conversations about, the gen. I lost my feed. If you're here and you're actually trying to make a difference in your life, give yourself a pat on the back. You're where you're supposed to be, and I do appreciate you. I'm certainly not going to. Yeah, I know it froze on me a little second there. All right, so I think the Wi-Fi here is a little wonky today. So, okay. All right, so I do want to talk about Shiba, and that was the first thing Pleb said earlier in the show. I don't want to talk about meme coins. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the coins that bring attention to crypto? You realize the projects, when my friends from high school ask me about crypto, when my little sisters ask me about crypto, they're not, asking me about Algorand or Hedera. They're asking me about meme coins. Meme coins, regardless what your opinion is on them, are a gateway to the rest of crypto. I hope a million more people get into this space because of Shiba, because of Doge. I hope these coins pump, because then they get into the industry and learn about everything else. You know how many people learn about crypto backwards? Very few people start at the beginning. Very few people start from where we started. You get my point. You get my point. I hope they rip. And Shiba Inu spikes, the burn rate spikes over 15,000%. That is story number one. All right. Let me get to the next. I need to continue to kill tabs, which is going to help. And then also, the Shiba executive gives a crucial statement on the Shiba metaverse. You guys know that it was just a meme coin. Shiba was just a meme coin, but then they were extremely successful. And just like some people come into the space backwards, Shiba is building out their ecosystem backwards. Most projects start with a project, with an idea, with an ecosystem, with the idea of one, and then do it this way. Shiba just came out with a token about a dog as a joke with another coin that was a joke about a dog, and then they built what their Shibarium backwards, just like the people that come into the space because of meme coins. They do it backwards, and that's fine. That's fine. So he has a significant announcement regarding the future of the SHIB metaverse. All right, so here's the tweet right here. One technology SHIB Army could adopt in its operating system is the use of fully homomorphic encryption, or FHE, privacy layers. So these FHE technology enables data analysis to be run directly on encrypted data without private data being exposed. Here, I might as well. I thought it was a whole tweet right there. All right, let me share this tab instead. Kill that last tab. My computer's working a little bit faster every time I kill another tab. Could be utilized. Okay. Without the private data being exposed to the party performing the analysis, for example, in the SHIB metaverse, this technology could be utilized in a feature that protects users by embedding the FHE technology in a virtual world to keep their interactions both private and secure, while some might choose to interact with the SHIB metaverse in a public-facing manner. This feature could allow users to build more in private, providing value for all users, regardless of how they decide to operate within the ecosystem. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, that you can kind of build privately if you want to, or you could be public facing. And, you know, that's the kind of thing I like to see, to be honest. I have to tip my hat to Shiba, man. I do. And I see so many articles about this project every day. And whatever they're doing, however they're doing it, you have to tip your hat to them for their effort in terms of marketing and earned content. I mean, they're not paying me. I'm talking about them right now because they're obviously putting in a really solid effort to make it known that they're coming. And they have an analysis here. Mutaz Ijaboum El Assad, crypto analyst and a 40 under 40 nominee by Forbes, is saying that we could maybe see a 1,100% pump from Shiba here in the future. I wonder what the pattern was that they saw exactly. Historical data exhibiting a pattern that, if repeated, will propel. All right, does it talk about the pattern itself? I'm trying to figure out if it says. I don't think it says like what the pattern exactly is. It's certainly in a consolidation phase. There's no question about that. So it's below support resistance between a lot of zeros 17, a lot of zeros 19 for 120 days. It broke out October 21. Okay, so they're basically saying that the last time it broke this support resistance level, this thing happened. So if it breaks this support resistance level again, then here we will be. That makes sense. So it's kind of like kind of similar to the idea that I had with the EMA crossings on VeChain. This is SHIB Moon Math. If I buy SHIB, it's screwed, he says. Is Bitcoin back above 70? Did it get back above on the show? We'll get to that in a second. I want to get through charts here. I had a lot of stories today, but I also wanted to catch up on everything that's happening. So basically saying, hey, Shiba got above this thing. If last time that took us all the way to where it took us. Maybe it'll do it again. That was a consolidation phase. It's now, all right. So this right here, like these two squares underneath support resistance, that would be the value area low. And now it's in the value area high, and it has, it's likely to put in a higher high. And that does kind of coincide. It's not exactly the TA that I've done on it, but that does kind of coincide with the projection of the TA that I'll go to the chart here in a minute. All right. Friend.tech to leave Base for its own blockchain. First of all, risky move by them. I don't think they have anything to lose at this point, though, either. It was, everyone kind of refers to this as the flash in the pan. It was an interesting idea. The idea of like owning tokens. I thought about doing it. Ben had some success with it. I don't know if it's a good move or a bad move. I'm sort of indifferent because they have to rebuild their reputation, because their reputation is a flash in the pan. So it's certainly, people are concerned. We got the Friend chain coming down the street. I'm not going to get into it. I just wanted you guys to be aware that was happening. Keep an eye out for it. And then, of course, Cardano, the Voltaire era nears with June hard fork milestone. Let me get rid of my last tab here. 1 second. So, guys, basically the Voltaire era involves, Cardano giving Cardano back to the community. And that's certainly the whole idea of the Voltaire era, introducing community-run governance, on-chain community consensus, things like that. The Chang hard fork is the first hard fork in the final era of the Cardano roadmap. So June 9th, Hoskisyan announced on Twitter that Cardano's upcoming Chang fork is approaching quickly, and the Cardano node will likely reach version 9.0 this month. That means that the Cardano blockchain is ready for the hard fork and is now waiting for 70% of stake pool operators to install the new node. then a hard fork can occur once those things are done, pushing Cardano into the age of Voltaire, which is, the final era of the roadmap when they give it back to the community. You guys remember we had Byron, Shelley, Gauguin, Basho, and then Voltaire, all like named after people from history, I believe mathematicians. Very interesting that how they broke that down. And yeah, so the Basho era focuses on scaling the blockchain. Voltaire, the final era, adds governance, voting, treasury management functionality to the Cardano blockchain. So there you go. I have been in conversation with my guy Big Pay. Big Pay, some of you might remember him, super big name inside the Cardano community. He has a kick-ass project called Atrium. I might be working with him on that. We've been staying in contact, and he's certainly going to come on the show here and talk Cardano, talk Atrium here in the next little while. Maybe this week, maybe next week. Not sure yet, but we will have that conversation. And Cardano, Hoskinson predicted that with Chang, the new hard fork, Cardano would have the most advanced blockchain governance system and annual budgets, as well as a treasury and valuable insights from the community. He added, it's been nearly 10 years for some of us on this remarkable journey. I can't believe that in a single decade, we built a nation. I'm proud of all of you. Cardano gives hope for our industry and the world. Let's spend the next decade making a big dent in the universe. Very well. So Charles has always been a very well-spoken guy. And hey, big shout out to Cardano, man. I know that, some people have been bored or upset with the price action of it. I understand that. Just like people have been bored and upset with Algorand or, Hedera. I mean, this is a patient game. This is a patient game. And sometimes I agree with the statement. Someone once said in a Twitter space, I found it so remarkable. They said, the worst thing that ever happened to your gains is being a community member. And man, he's right. He's right, because they're the diehard Pulse Chain people or the diehard Cardano people, that tribalism factor in crypto that I cannot stand, by the way. There's been a lot of infighting in crypto, kind of like the guy that got kicked out of the chat earlier. It's that kind of infighting that turns people away from crypto. In my eyes, we're all crypto. We all need to work together and get along, so people from the outside looking in are incentivized to come to our space, not look at this, watch a fight happen from the sidelines and run the other way. That's why I don't do the negativity. That's why I don't do the toxic. I won't argue with anyone on Twitter. That's not my vibe. That's not what I do. So, but yeah, I got it. I got to give it to Charles, man. Like, I really like Cardano. I always have. In terms of price, I've made my money on Brett, on Notcoin, on Jasmy. I have moved around and played with some of the new coins. There is a degree where some of your money, I am going to say, hey, come over. This is a new cycle. Join the new cycle. Let's make some money. But if you have conviction in the projects that, these new projects are getting that attention because they're this new thing. But once they get established, they will hit the same wall that all the other projects have already hit a year ago. And I feel that, like, the kind of new coin versus old coin argument, I feel that, okay, would you rather go with this new thing that's shiny and it's going to pump and it's going to, it's going to have attention, but I would rather side with the projects that have had that experience, that have hit that wall already, that are still making new partnerships, making new roadmaps, continuing the grind. I feel like the experience always seems to play out over time. So I do have kind of a split mentality on old coin versus new coins. So I have both, which is why diversification is the point. I don't like tribalism in crypto. I hate it when people ask me, would you rather hold Algorand or would you rather hold HBAR? And I say, I hold both, because the point is to be diversified. I don't have to pick between Algo or HBAR. I never will pick between Algo or HBAR. I hold both because I like both. That's a fair answer. I don't have to answer that question. And, if people want to vote with their wallets, go ahead. But what I'm saying is that there needs to be a well-rounded portfolio, involves coins coming in and involves coins, high conviction plays for, on the promises that the roadmaps are going to play off. Certainly Hedera. In what world, with that governing council, with everything they're building, there's no scenario in my mind where Hedera doesn't play out. It's just, it's going to. It's an amazing project through and through. And I am going to put out the interview with Eric Pincini. the audio, so it was really loud in the conference. So my editor put like a limiter on the volume. So the volume's a little weird because of how loud it was in the conference, but the content, what we're saying in that interview, very good interview. Big shout out to Eric Pincini from Swirlds Labs. That interview will come out today, so make sure you keep an eye out for that as well. New York Nick, $5 super chat. Speaking of algo, in your humble opinion, which is more likely to hit $3 this cycle, algo or GRT? I don't really know that if me answering that's worth a $5 super chat, bro. Well, when you look at, one second, excuse me. I'm trying to pull this up, but my computer's being slow today. So coming on down the list here. Coming on down the list. Where is the graph, by the way? The graph, 51 by market cap, currently 26 cents with a $2.5 billion market cap. So for the graph to get to $3, that's a lot of work, more than a 10x. And, for Algorand, which is $1.4 billion at 17 cents, to get to $3, that's a lot of work. There's a chance neither of them hit $3. I would like to see Algo at least get back to $2.82, which is 2021 all-time high. But you also kind of have to appreciate how many more coins have come into the supply since then. Let me get a quick refresher on the graph situation. The graph has, that's what I thought. 9.5 out of 10.7 circulating. So that's a pretty high number. So that's less of a problem now. But the graph, if you actually pay attention to graph back in 2021, basically the entire supply came in right after the bull run, which was a pretty bloody time to hold the graph. If you knew the tokenomic situation with the graph, you would not have held it after 2021. And with Algorand, they're about 81, almost 82% of the way there. So the graph's tokenomic situation is better than Algorand's. Algorand and Algorand, the rest of their supply is, it's kind of up to them when it comes in. There's not really a set schedule for it, but I feel like it will take more time. I don't think they're in a big hurry to fulfill the max supply because that's the last of the leverage they have to build out the ecosystem. So, I mean, pound for pound in a price race, I don't really know because Algorand is $1 billion away from the graph, and the graph is, 10 cents away from Algorand. So that's a tough race, man. And to answer your question, New York Nick, just like you're basically asking, what do you like more, Algorand or the graph? And just like my answer with, what do you like more, Hedera or Algorand? I like both. I hold them both. And I hope they both go to $3, but I can't stand here with a straight face and look into this camera and say that I can guarantee either of them will go to $3. That's not a guarantee. I'm not going to lie to my audience. I haven't been to the future. I don't know. I hope so. I would like to think so, but I can't say that that's going to happen because no one knows that. And if someone says that they do, they lied to you. I keep it real. I keep it real. Yeah, it's probably the same guy's other account. Let him hate. Let him hate. Yeah, I was just looking at the not coin chart here. What a killer, man. What a killer. All right, we talked Cardano. I'm going to have Big Pay come on here pretty soon. Looking forward to that. Let me get rid of some of these other tabs that I have. I'm going to go over into the TA segment of the show. It's only 12 o'clock. Oh, yeah, it's 12 o'clock. So we've been on for like 54 minutes. I am going to hit a couple charts. Finally picked up some Kaspa. A little late to the party there, Frank. I don't have any thoughts on Kaspa memes, to be honest with you. I have zero thoughts on Kaspa memes. But all right. Yeah, it's definitely the same guy with his next account. Who got booted? You're out. That was fun. I enjoy it. that I would bet $1,000 it was the same dude. Kaspa. Let's look at this chart. So here we were talking about this chart just the other day. Boom. Boom. And I'm trying to get rid of some of this old. Yeah, exactly. No, I would bet $1,000 it's the same guy. I would bet you $1,000 it's the same guy. Pray for AJ. He's broadcasting in a hurricane. Dude, I don't know what it is today, Believes, but my Wi-Fi is not working with me today. It is a bummer. It is a bummer. All right, Kaspa. So what I will say is that I really am grateful that, you know, it has held kind of support resistance here. You could even elongate this line, pull this back. All right. So it certainly has some, you know, to hold that level in that fashion, especially like in the midst of the flash crash here. Good to see that. All right. That level is right at 16 cents. We don't want to see Kaspa go below 16 cents because the point here is, guys, is that we had a flash crash and still put in a higher low. That's like really what you want to see. We also, you know, I talked about this downtrend. You see this yellow line coming down here. This line was given to the Telegram group, and just recently has Kaspa broke out of this line. So from breakout top to bottom, we're talking a 6% pump in 13 hours. Shout out to anybody who nailed that trade. So now, you know, this next level here is at 16.7. It's at 16.6. That support resistance with another kind of hidden SR line and that little dark gray line there at 16.9. Basically, long story short, there are a handful of small support resistance lines. This blue line is really what you want to beat. This white line here is actually from further back in the chart. That's why that line's relevant. But my point here is you want to see it get above 17 cents. I'm comfortable longing Kaspa in the event it breaks 17 cents. And, you know, I do have a handful of let me go different chart. I do have a handful of levels already, you know, kind of picked out here off support resistance. And we have kind of come down the hill. It's really good that it has been progressively since this level, like 15.5. It has been putting in higher lows since, and it has broken out of the downtrend. So now we need to see it break out of support resistance, which would be this level here or that local high around 17 cents. So what I actually really am interested to do here is to pull a clean Kaspa chart. Oh, it'll definitely hit 17 cents. It might hit 17 cents today, man. So what I like to do, maybe go 2 hour. All right. So here, I mean, when you appreciate Kaspa's run up, I mean, it was 10 cents back in May, guys. It was 10 cents back in May. All right. And from here to here, we're talking 89% in 35 days, still trying to hold a lot of that value. You kind of, this is certainly a situation where the rounded bottoms pay the bills. You'll hear me say that time and time again. And that is exactly what happened here. You even kind of had this, you know, little head and shoulders idea that played to the upside there. You know, but the problem is this is a 2 hour chart. We are just now, you know, having that 50 EMA fight. You see how the EMA here, the price stayed above the 50 EMA. Well, now it's kind of having a fight on the 2 hour there. So you do have to pay attention to that. Shout out to my guy Jaywalk, says nice skateboard in the back. Hell yeah. He has the exact same one on his wall. It is currently closing about to close above the 50 EMA. So that would really, because this is what happens, everybody. The EMAs is such an important lesson to learn. In bullish continuation, it stays above the red line, the 50 EMA. In a change of direction, it will fight and lose the 50. And in the bullish fights, it bounces off the 200 and continues. This could easily be, we lost the 50, bounced the 200, continue. So if we can close above the 50 EMA on the 2 hour, that would be looking on the up and up overall for Kaspa. We do want to see that play out. When you look at, you know, the entire year completely zoomed out, this is kind of where, you know, I start having some ideas, because at least we put in a slightly higher high. That is step one. If we turned around here and not wick right there, I would be a little bit concerned. But structurally speaking, we put in a higher high. Love to see it. All right. We also have, you know, this kind of overall uptrend going on. I could even like draw it from there if I wanted to. So you want to be mindful of this uptrend here. And even if Kaspa, Kaspa could actually fall down to 11.6 and technically still be in that, little uptrend. And we also want to take into account these levels from over here. Actually, I might draw it a little bit closer. All right, because this level still totally matters. Totally matters. We got touch, 2 touches, rejection, fall through, rejection, touch. All right. So that, and this is macro support resistance. Macro support resistance from 15 cents, basically exactly, to 19 cents. So, it can trade between 15 and 19 all day long. You want to see, this is like a big, for the bigger move, long the break of 19 or short the break of 15. I know there's more trades in between there, but you do want to keep that into account. And lastly, for my final bit here for Kaspa, going to my last clean chart. Let me look at like maybe an 8 hour. Get rid of the EMAs. All right. Sweet. So this is another thing I've been kind of taking into account. So if you go from, local low to local high, all right, it is trading between the 0.23 and 382. All right. And, it can stay in this range. If you kind of wanted a tighter range, a tighter conditional type range to trade between, you could run off of, the Fibonacci, which is totally fine. So that would be 17.3 and 16 cents. So I gave you a conditional range from support resistance, which is a larger range, actually 19 to 15. If you wanted a conditional range based off Fibonacci, you would go from 17.3 to 16 cents. Where if we break 17, we go long, we lose 16 cents, we go short. And then you could use the Fibonacci for the targets because, if we break this, targeting local high makes complete sense, right? Because anytime you get shut down, the previous high becomes your target. And Kaspa is an 18% pump away from its local high. So there you go. But yeah, I have a little bit of Kaspa. I mean, do I think it could get to $1? Actually, I'm going to leave that up there if I ever come back to this chart. Do I think it could get to $1? I think it's a maybe, but it pumps so hard, man. It's one of those things that's just like, what more do you want? Like, I know a lot of people that bought Kaspa at like a penny, 2 cents. And I'm like, what are you still doing? Get the hell out of there. I don't know. To be fair, before I change topics here, I feel better about buying Kaspa if it broke a new all-time high. I know that's counterintuitive, but structurally speaking, it is kind of scary to buy where it is right now. In terms of the oscillators and stuff, everything's fine and dandy, to be honest. I mean, it's not like a bad chart to trade. It's just it's a really strong chart to trade, and a lot of the juice has already been squeezed. Is kind of my point. In terms of like its strength, from Fibonacci, stuff like that. Very strong coin in an ascending, broadening channel. Definitely keep an eye on that as well. In the event it would lose this, I would certainly be looking to short. I think I'm actually going to elongate this level. All right. And I'm going to set an alarm on that bad boy. All right. Create. All right. Sweet. I'm going to look at Kaspa mining is red hot. That's fair. That's a fair assessment. I'm going to talk about 2 more charts and head out for today. There are a lot of charts that I have for you guys. We kind of did a heavy news day today, which is cool. We got to catch up on all the things. But there are a couple of charts I want you to look at. We did look at Mother, we looked at Bitcoin, we looked at Kaspa. I'm going to save that one for the Telegram group. Wow, that one's actually breaking out. I need to post about that. Yeah, let's talk Jasmy. My boy Jay walks in the house. We got to talk Jasmy. So this is what I mean by like how a lot of altcoins like the H bars, the Algorand's, the V chains, the flash crash like really hurt those coins. And I mean, Bitcoin is not really. I mean, I think it might have hit 70,000 during the stream. I think it did. Yeah, Bitcoin temporarily hit 70,000 during the stream. Looks like it's pushing up. Has a bullish structure, crossing that blue line like we mentioned before. So, Bitcoin is already recovering from the flash crash. Now, the altcoins that really ate it, like HBAR, like Algorand, that had a pretty big dent, they need to work on recovering from the flash crash as well. But Jasmy, for instance, I mean, it didn't really. It held a strong support resistance level at 3.7. A very strong support resistance level from 3.7. I also saw someone else post a chart basically saying that Jasmy looks a lot like Cardano on the way up back in 2021. That would put Jasmy, like 30 cents or something like that. Hey, that could be the case. But right here, right now, there are two things we got to watch. We're in ascending broadening. So if we lost this level, let me get rid of some of the mess. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me get rid of the oscillators too. Simple. So it actually came down here and bounced off of support resistance at 3.7 and this uptrend line. That's really good. We want to see that. We lose this uptrend line, then we start having a different conversation because it's breaking the bounds of the uptrend that started back in May. All right. So its next stop is breaking 4 cents again. And then once it breaks 4 cents, the next stop is, all-time highs. So from right here to 4 cents is about a 3.4% pump. And from here back up to the top is a 15% pump. And in this, we need to make sure we stay above the realm of this ascending broadening channel. So you definitely want to alarm that channel. I might have it alarmed on another chart. I normally do most of my alarms on my other computer, so my alarms don't go off on this computer, but they go off on my phone. But I am going to set that alarm, and I'm also going to set an alarm at 4 cents. All right, but generally speaking, right now it's in a quote conditional range between 4 cents and 3.7. Oops, it can trade between here all we want. We don't care about this move. We care about the break one way or the other. And there are leverage charts for Jasmy on Phemex. I'm not. I will certainly short it if I have to. Yeah, I can run the fib on Jasmy too. Sure. Also, keep an eye on the stock market. I did mention this on my gaming stream yesterday. That it was testing this level here at 5,331. And it did touch here, popped up, came down, touched here, popped up. So great to see that. Great to see that it popped. Now we want to see it break all-time high again and to continue up. And that would be, best case for, all risk assets to see that the S&P 500 continue up. You want to see a Fibonacci on Jasmy. 1 second. Just pick a clean chart. So it's kind of a question of where do you want to pull it from, because it's going to be a very strong Fibonacci reading. I say if we go off the 4 hour, because like if you ran it from like way back here, it would be tough to run it from all the way back here because it would just be at the very top. You know what I mean? So I would probably say like this level here is, the local bottom after the pump earlier in the year. And this level is at $0.015. Worst case scenario, Jasmy comes to $0.015 because, we have wick, touch, 2 touches, touch, pop. So $0.015 is like the last, that's worst case scenario. And also worst case scenario, it would really suck for it to come back down here, because it's really only gone up and to the right. And that's what I'm saying with those levels here. We really want to see Jasmy maintain that value. All right. And I will get to the Fibonacci in a second. But what I'm saying is that if you pull a volume profile here, which I will right now, you will see there's probably a very large gap. And as expected, very, very large gap where basically if Jasmy loses 3.7, it's a long way down to where a lot of the volume in the chart actually lives. All right. But it can hold its value. There is the option where it holds its value. That is a very possible thing. It doesn't have to go down. But like I'm saying, this is, since it came up here, this is where it has come to multiple times. We do not want to see Jasmy lose 3.7. All right. I'm going to alarm that one just for a peace of mind. To be honest with you, I might click sell if it loses that level. I might. And then, you could even argue 3.5 cents from that little stop there as well. All right. But then that's where things get scary, though, because that's where the volume really drops off. Low volume node that doesn't pick back up to 2.5. So there's that. I'm going to leave that blue line. I'm going to get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. So then we got to remember that this 1.5 level down here, that's where I would pull the fib from, because that's kind of like the local low, so to speak. And it's going to be a really strong fib reading. It's going to be at the top. Yeah. And let me try to really line it up there. And there it is. And interestingly enough, that support resistance level at 3.7, it's basically where the 236 is. It's basically right there. All right. And as of right now, Jasmy is in this range with support resistance and is in this range in terms of Fibonacci, where instead of the support resistance actually at 3.7, the Fibonacci is actually, the support resistance is actually at 3.7. This is at a higher 3.7. It's not even into 3.8. This white line and these blue lines are both in 3.7. All right. I know that's kind of confusing, but nevertheless, we don't want to see Jasmy lose this level, because that's really where you start talking like full reversal. You start talking head and shoulders. You start talking, some pretty bearish patterns. I'm telling you guys, you don't want to see Jasmy lose this level, because the volume is a problem. We don't want to talk about the plummet. All right. So set a big alarm on Jasmy at 0.037. There you go. Guys, I am holding some charts back right now. One, I've been doing this show for an hour and 12 minutes. We generally only go for an hour. Sometimes I go later, especially when Ben's not streaming. I go a little bit later. But I'm going to show you one more chart after this little rant here, and then we're going to go. But guys, I've been posting mad setups in the Telegram group. I posted 14 charts yesterday. Not to mention all the 30%, 100%, 90%, 80%, 85% winning DM trades of the Phemex results that I've been getting sent to me from the group. You guys are awesome. The group is nailing trades, winning massive trades. Every day I'm getting big DMs from the group, from setups that they're getting in the from the Telegram group. I got to give it to them, man. I got to give it to them. I'm giving them the setups. I'm giving you, the direction, but you still got to do the trade. You still got to manage the trade. You still got to know how to play it. All right. I'm giving you I'm showing you the ropes, but you're playing the game. It's up to you. I'm telling you guys, if you're on the outside looking in and you're not making the most out of this, if you're not making the most out of this bull run, if you're being a toxic person because you're upset and leaving negative messages in a chat with only 200 people in it, maybe you should take this bull run by the horns and join the Telegram group and win some trades, and you'd feel better. And then you wouldn't be toxic in my chat. Hey, there you go. There you go. It is a private group. It is a paid group. But out of all the other paid groups, this one is certainly bang for buck. It is not that expensive in the grand scheme of things. You can't search for this group on Telegram and find it because it's private. You can only get in if you send me an email, go through the checklist, and I personally add you. They're killing it every day. I got it. We're killing. I got a bunch more charts. I'm going to put out here pretty soon for the group. Corey says, AJ, double down on the Mavs. No way they lose 3. That's what I'm saying, Corey. That's what I'm saying. Frosty said he got a good little trade on whiff this morning. Junior says, would you put more in Jasmy now? No, not financial advice, but I, at this moment in time, personally would not put more in. I know it's counterintuitive it's counter intuitive. There is no copy. I don't do the copy trading on Phemex. I post some of the pulse. I post some of the Telegram charts. If I post 14 setups in Telegram, I might put one in Phemex Pulse. But no, I'm not doing Phemex copy trading. If you want to follow my trades, join the Telegram group. That's the only way. But no, I would not put more in Jasmy right now. I would rather put more in Jasmy, like if in Discovery, because here, I mean, guys, you really, really could deduct. Like, I'm gonna be real with you here. Like in my eyes, losing 3.7, which is support resistance and Fibonacci, losing that level, even if it comes and backs and reclaims it, it's going to be bloody. This thing had a quick rise up. There's a lot of news around it. But in the event we lose this level, I am going to momentarily sell and maybe try to get back in at another Fibonacci level. All right. Because if you really want to be a stickler here, this Fibonacci line, this blue level, that's the neckline of a Head and Shoulders. Okay. Measured move. And look where the measured move takes us down to. Support resistance and a Fibonacci level. That's how powerful technical analysis is. It literally lines up perfect to SR and Fibonacci. That would take us down to 3 cents in the event this measured move plays out. That would be a 22% drop from its current price right now. But just because there is a Head and Shoulders doesn't mean it has to lose the neckline. If it loses the neckline, that could happen. All right. That level is 0.037. Set that motherfucking alarm, guys. Be ready to react to the market. The vet price prediction video, it got put on hold for a minute, but it is coming. It got put on hold for a minute, but it's coming. Reading the chat. IMJ, I don't feel the need to tell anybody how much money I've made in crypto. I don't need to do that. It's not really anyone's business. And you actually have to understand the position I'm in, because I have a lot of people that I help on a regular basis that are in really tough situations that, you know, can't pay their bills, kind of stuff, that like I am doing what I can to help them. And this isn't even like, I'm not even talking directly people from my community, like people in my life. All right. So if I come on here and tell you how much money I made last month, people, it would be a problem. And I also don't want to flex on people. So my humility is more important than my accolades. Okay. I don't want anyone, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want, you know, it's not my liberty to, it's not a credibility factor for me, because I don't need to tell you how much money I've made. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with credibility. My credibility is that I have had a YouTube channel for 6 or 7 months that has almost 15,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? I not to mention, I mean, IMJ, put the pieces together here. Look at the Phemex, BAZED, Market Cipher, Get Rich or Get Wrecked, the YouTube channel, the Telegram group, my trading. Like, if you really wanted to put it together, you know, how well is he doing? Very well is the answer. So do you watch Ben because he's a multimillionaire or because he gives good info? And see, that is a question, you know, and that's fair. And this is actually something that Jada and I have talked at length about, because I could buy a Lamborghini right now if I wanted to. We talked about it, because you do want to show the accolades. You want to show off and say, because more people watch this channel if I bought a Lamborghini today? Yeah, they would. Could I buy a Lamborghini today? Yes, I could. But am I going to? No, I'm not. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that, like, yeah, I have put a lot of IMJ. This is actually a really good way to end the show, actually. And I appreciate, you have every right to ask, which is totally fair. And I have every right to say, hey, there's a lot of sensitive type subjects around people in my orbit, not people from my channel, but people in my orbit who I'm trying to help, that I don't want to slap them in the face, because it's not my, I don't have to be a white knight and give thousands of dollars to people who are struggling just because they know who I am. That's not my place. But can I try to help them get on their feet and get sober and live a better life? Yes. Also, it would be so stupid to buy a Lambo right now. I actually found one in Atlanta that wasn't that bad. I could have put 100 down and paid it off in 24 months, no problem. But why would I spend pre-bull run market money in a Lambo? I buy a Lambo in 26, and yeah, I mean, there will be a time where I say it, that time will come, but that time is not now, because one, I'm remaining humble. I'm sticking to my roots despite the money I've made this year. And what I've made this year is very significant. But I am also remaining humble, and I don't want to flex on anyone. I don't want to make anyone else in my orbit feel bad. I would rather help people than spend an exorbitant amount of money on one object. So if I can help people and spend an exorbitant amount of money on one object, that's when that object will come. But I also, with full respect to the attention business, my channel would get bigger faster if I bought a Lamborghini, and that's totally fair. But I also realize I've seen the tape play out. Of course, me and Bippo are good. We're in the same office. I'm in that office. His set is 30 feet that way. Like, you know what I mean? His set's right over there. He's training for his fight. Unfortunately, I can't make it to London. But yeah, I mean, Ben's one of my best friends. And I was just the guy in the chat. And I somehow became his writer. And we somehow went on tour and somehow became really good friends. And he's struggling with some things and he's working through it. And I'm there. I love him where he's at. And I really appreciate how much he's taken to his commitment to fighting. Him going to the gym every day, that's good for him. It's helping. It's that's meditation for him. He needs that, and I think that's amazing. I already have an ESP guitar. I have like 13 guitars, Gregory. Now I actually wanted to buy a KTM motorcycle. I thought about it, but I'm gonna ride the bike I have for one more year, and that's kind of where I'm at. Is like, yeah, I could go buy all this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, that's bull run money. Like, why would I? This is the way I look at something. If I spend $1,000 on anything, I feel like that's me spending $10,000, because that's what I could do with that money if it was in crypto instead. So right now is not the time to flex. Right now is not the time to brag about how much money I've made. Right now is the time to remain humble and to double down and work harder and help as many people as I can, because I don't really give a shit how many millions I make. I give a shit about how many people I can make millionaires. That's my flex. That's my credibility. And I know how many people I've helped from this channel and from my Telegram group. I have someone in my Telegram group that is going to gift me a Bored Ape once he gets to X. And he's already 65% of the way there. And him and I started working together 2 months ago. Like I have some people that listen to the AJ and that have made millions of dollars, if not six figures, big numbers. And so really my flex is more about how many people I can make become millionaires, not how many millions I have. I would rather, I'd rather have the respect than personal, physical, materialistic shit. Because that's really all it is, So one day at a time, fam. One day at a time. But what I will say, guys, is I think a lot of it, I talk to a lot of people about crypto, and I also know that um a lot of I think a big part of crypto, and a big part for me with crypto, getting into crypto in the beginning, was I did not want to work a 9 to 5. I did not want to work a normal job. I worked as an electrician. I worked in restaurants. I worked at a motorcycle shop. I played a lot of poker. I've made and lost and made and spent and made and lost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I just ran through it. The first time I, made a bunch of money in crypto, probably 2017, 2018, I made like 20, 25 grand and pissed it against the wall, like immediately. You know what I mean? I was not responsible for what, I wasn't making the best of it at all. And it really took me gaining and losing and gaining and losing and riding the roller coaster to really like learn the lesson. So now that I've learned the lesson and I have gone through it, I am trying to help people not go through it the hard way like I did. And that's really a lot of why I talk about what I talk about. Shout out to Andy Philpott for gifting 10 gifted subs. Now, everybody with a gifted membership can attend the additional live stream Friday that is emphasis on technical analysis and like educational, sort of like a college class about the charts, about the setups we give in the Telegram group. It is for the Telegram group, but you can watch it if you're not in the group. And if you watch it and you're not in the group, you'll probably want to join the group, which happens to a lot of people. So essentially, you can't keep what you have unless you give it away. And I had to get out of that monotony. And what I would suggest to a lot of people, first of all, trading is hard. Trading is very difficult. If you have less than $10,000, I'm going to say that you probably should not trade, and you probably should get everything together so you can put yourself in a position to trade. If your entire net worth is in your crypto portfolio, I wouldn't advise that. I wouldn't tell anybody to do that. I've done it and it worked, but you shouldn't do it just because I did it. I did it out of like complete desperation, like top of the ninth, full base, full count, bases loaded, 2 strikes, and I hit a home run. But not everyone does that. It's not easy to do that. I also put myself in a position to do that. And a lot of people have this weird relationship with money where they won't even put themselves in the position to make that kind of money. That's a whole nother conversation. But generally, guys, this is a new growing industry. There are so many jobs in crypto, it's not even funny. So many jobs. And you know what's crazy is that there are companies, top 100 crypto projects, that have some people that work for them that don't know shit about crypto. Like, embarrassing. They know nothing. And they work for this coin or that coin. I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but you know who you are. And guys, there's a lot of if you want to get out of your normal 9 to 5, find a job in crypto. There are so many people who need help. So many people. Like, if it's content creators, if it's editors, bloggers, moderators, and then projects, like there's like intern slots that you could get in or work your way up. There, if you have like any marketing experience from your normal life, you could put it into crypto, be a CMO, work your way up, become a CEO. Not to mention all the lower level positions at every company in crypto, from research analytics like Masari, from projects that with normal infrastructure, like a normal business with a normal ROI. Like that's the thing. Like with crypto, is some projects actually have a working business and operate like a normal business with a normal ROI, who are also in crypto. And then you kind of have the top-down business structure. So, I mean, guys, there are thousands of crypto projects out there. I'm sure with a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of try hard, you can find a job in the crypto industry. I was just lucky enough to become a writer for the largest crypto influencer in the world at the time I landed the job. I hit the lottery, but that wasn't luck. I created that luck. I manifested that luck by devoting everything I had to crypto. I I planned every minute of every day and was devoted to this grind. I am still devoted to this grind, which is why I have had it up to here with people being toxic, because they have no idea what I went through to get to where I am and to make the money I have made, which is why I don't feel the need to tell people. You know what I mean? I don't need to tell you, motherfucker. I know what it is. And I would rather work hard and help as many other people as I can than flex on people. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't want to, you know, play apples, oranges. I don't want to play the comparison game. Well, I have this. I don't care about that. I'm trying to help people. That's what it comes down to. That's what it's always been about me. And I found a job in the industry as a writer, and I worked my way up. And now I have my own business, my own company, my own thing. And I own all of it. And that's what you should do. You know what I mean? Start from the bottom and dedicate every minute of every day and make it happen. You know, it's not easy. And that's why why do you think I'm so big on telling people, go to conferences, go to conferences, go to conferences? Because that's where the doors open. That's where you meet that one guy or those few people that all have the same idea as you. Dude, if you go to a conference and go to every booth and hand them a resume, you will get a job. You don't want to work at a restaurant anymore? You don't want to work as an electrician anymore? Go to a crypto conference and print out 100 resumes and hand them out to every single booth there. You'll get a job, especially if you're smart and if you pay attention and you have value. I'm telling you, one day at a time, guys. Make it happen. Every day I'll go not. If you're going to Decipher, of course we are going to meet at Decipher, fam. Of course we are. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to Andy Philpott. Appreciate you gifting all the subs for those people. That's really nice of you, man. That's sweet. That's sweet. Guys, make sure you smash the like button. Frosty said if I need a pilot after I buy my private jet. Okay. If I bought a private jet, I wouldn't tell anybody. One day at a time, everybody. All you can do. I'm looking forward to seeing you next month in Nashville as well, Ogre. I'm looking forward to it. Also looking forward to going to Rare Evo, Decipher, Bitcoin Nashville. And that's just this summer. Guys, like, you know, pick positivity prospers. Exactly, Crypto Night. That's it. That's the ticket. Take all that negative energy, defenestrate it. You know what defenestrate means? It means to throw something out a window. All right? Defenestrate the negativity because it's not going to get you anywhere. No one's going to be like, oh, I love how much of an asshole you are. Do you want this job? Said no one ever. Okay? Be the adult in the room. Bring the positivity. Raise the energy level up. Don't pull the energy level down. That's the only way you're going to make it, is one single day at a time. Mindset is everything, guys. Mindset is absolutely everything. You know, not long ago, I was in my dad's shop. Helping him work on motorcycles, listening to the BitBoy Crypto live stream with one headphone in my ear. And BitBoy didn't know who I was, and I didn't know who he was. And I just listened to his show every day. And I listened to him, and I listened to Wendy and M&M Crypto, Ivan on Tech. And I spent all my time looking at charts, making the money I could, buying all the crypto I could, doing what I could. And I manifested this entire thing. And if I could do that, you could do that. But you have to put the work into. You can't just expect it to be handed to you. It's not easy. It takes years. It happens slowly over time, which is why my whole thing is rewiring your shit, rewiring your relationship with money, and doing whatever you can do today to make yourself 1% better than you were yesterday. That's the entire bit. All right. I do want to look at the whiff chart. Someone said it's pumping. Damn straight it is. And look, everyone. Look at this level I gave the Telegram group. Wow. So if you lost 275 short to here, all right, 2 hours and 3 hours, we got a 3.8, almost 4% pump. All right. And then if you broke this level at 275, you go long to the next level, actually went above that, We have a 5% pump in 12 minutes, currently up 4%. And if you were in the Telegram group, you would have had that alarm go off. I had that alarm go off on my phone, but I was doing the stream, so I missed it. But it's okay, because if you were in the group, you had that alarm set, and hopefully you got into that trade. Guys, we are nailing trades. That's a 4% trade that just worked out literally in the past 20 minutes. And if you're in the Telegram group, you would have known about that level. You would have set an alarm at that level, and you would have executed the trade when that level went off. I have gained so much trust with people in my Telegram group that some of the traders, they don't even set the alarms on their phones anymore. You know what they're doing? They're setting the trade buy orders or sell orders with leverage at those levels. They're not even doing an alarm that get a text message and then they go to think about putting in the trade. They are setting buy orders at these levels and winning. That is trust right there. That is serious trust. Come on. Come on, fam. One day at a time. If you want to make the most of this bull run, send me an email. That's it right there. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Gregory Ward, Corey, Meta Wayne, Frosty, Harley, SWFL Crypto, KLM for being toxic. I'll pray for you too, fam. Hexentino, Crypto Knight, Ogre, Andy, you guys rock. I'm out of here. I went on for way too long tonight. Tonight feels like tonight. I don't know. But hey, sometimes I feel the need to truly explain why, the when, the how from me. And it's funny because I had started that rant probably 20 minutes ago, and I've only got more viewers, and it has only kept going up. More people are listening. People want to know how to pull this off. And I've pulled it off. So you're listening. And I am telling you that just listening to this show, that's step one. Listening to the news, looking at the charts, being aware of those levels, reading those articles on your own, looking at those charts on your own, listening to other shows, tweeting, getting yourself out there, going to conferences. That's all like the bottom. What the real truth of your trading results is going to come after I say get rich or get wrecked and end the show. The real truth of your trading results is going to be completely proportionally correlated to the amount of effort you put in after this show is over. This show is just your wake-up call. This show is just okay, I know what I have to do. Now you have to go do it. Put that work in, guys. Knowledge is king. Checkmate. My name's AJ Wrights Crypto. Get rich or get wrecked.